Because, dude, it's vitally important to understand personal branding, and most people don't. They think they don't have a personal brand, but they do. It just sucks.
Yep.
So what do you consider a personal brand?
Well, it's everything that you do. In this day and age, everything is on display. Whether you want to or not, you used to could hide behind this desk and do your job as a CEO or the stock guy. But now you're out there whether you want to be out there or not, and to not be leveraging all of that opportunity. You start relationships with people before you have a conversation.
That's right.
They get to know you. They get to know who you are, whatever you want to be, but it's on display and you control the message. And
if you're smart.
But you got to social media has created this amplification opportunity. And people ask me all the time, what do you do? My answer is I amplify stories. That's what I do. That's what marketing is. There's a story to be told. Also, but then the second part of this, I help businesses create stories, because a lot of people think they just do something, but there's a story there. So you create that story, you develop the strategies for that story, and then you amplify it with marketing and media.
At the end of the day, guys, personal branding is one of the key areas that if someone said, Brad, I need to triple my business, quadruple my business, or I die, what would you have me do? Number one, focus on and create and or establish a personal brand and leverage the shit out of it. Because, dude, with a personal brand, man, you can sell 1,000 T-shirts. You can sell all your products and services. You can establish relationships, like you said, prior to them even knowing who you are. And it's critical that a company does it. Most companies, they're trying to brand their company, when in reality, they should be branding themselves. You know what I mean? I'm getting a lot of business for Lightspeed because of my personal brand. They're like, shit, I didn't even know you did that. But once I found out, boom, I had to use you because they follow me or they like me or they resonate with our, with my personal brand. What percentage do you think like you could grow a business based on establishing a personal brand for someone?
500% growth. If you do personal brand versus, if you showed me, if you put, and I'm some guesswork at this, but just what I've seen, if you show me line up 10 companies and someone in the C-suite, usually the CEO or founder, if they have a strong personal brand and they want to be out there versus the companies that don't, I'd bet my career that the ones that their founder is out there and has a personal brand, that it's 5 to 10x.
At least.
At least.
Yeah, because look at Elon Musk. They follow Elon. Nobody follows Tesla. And If they do, it's courtesy because of Elon.
Even Apple was Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
Everybody, and yes, their products, and they got a lot of things right. In creative development, he had a lot of talent around him. People don't that, but it was Steve Jobs.
Branson.
Yeah.
For Virgin. I don't follow Virgin, but Branson.
That's right.
Who else is a good example of that?
Well, in our space, the greatest, and I say ours, in the agency space, the greatest self-promoter is Gary Vaynerchuk.
Oh, yeah. Gary V's another perfect.
And he's got 10 or 20 companies now, all with,
based on his personal brand.
It's all personal branding.
That was all for him, wasn't it?
Yeah. And look, I spent 20 years in the business, and it took me 16 to realize the importance. So I've spent the last 4 years developing my own. I give it myself as my own personal example. I'm verified on the platforms. I post, 2,000 times on Instagram. We film and document everything, and I don't love it all the time, but I know that it's a door opener.
You have to do it.
You have to do it.
Yeah, like this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of those.
Exactly.
And when people ask me, what do you do? I say, well, dude, you get yourself one of those and you have another team that'll take it and edit it. And you're lucky if you get one that can do it all, but not always they can. So build a team. Well, I can't afford it. You can't afford not to if you're looking to be big in business. I don't care if you're a plumber. If you're a plumber out there building a plumbing company, dude, I want to know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Landscaper, chiropractor, doctor, dentist. You own a car dealership. There's a guy here his real name's Josh Tobin, but he goes by Chop. The dude's personal brand sells him more cars than the ads, the actual ads. And now he's got multiple dealerships, richer than a foot up a bull's ass, and everybody goes there because that's Chop's place. So, dude, and he's been building a personal brand for years. Like, I don't even know if I don't think he did it intentionally. It was accidental, but he did it nonetheless. And now he's got, he's at a TV show. He's got music labels. He's got, he's buddies with all the freaking celebrities, and his dealerships waste everybody else's dealership. Why? Because everybody wants to go buy it from him. And even though he's not there selling it, they want to buy it from him.
That's right.
So, folks, while you're listening, figure out how to build a personal brand, or go grab somebody like Ryan that knows what they're doing, invest the time and money, and start making a personal brand.
I got a good story there if you got a second.
Go.
Dentist, you said dentist. So a good friend of mine, 2018, this is 3 years ago, he came to me, and I was in between starting Radical and working for another agency. I was a chief marketing officer and was starting it. And he's like, hey, man, can you help me? And because I had been telling him, like, dude, you need to get your brand out there. Here's a tripod. I literally gave him a tripod and said, start filming yourself. Get yourself out there. Dentistry's boring. No one likes dentists. He's a good-looking guy. He had some unique skill sets. And, well, one day he texts me, and I was managed like his Facebook page. I was in between. I was just helping him out, and I was like helping him with his Facebook page. And the girls in his office told him that he should do this dance. There was a dance challenge for In My Feelings with Drake. Dude can dance. Dude's good looking. He filmed himself. He said, never went out the office. And he sent me the video. He's like, I don't know if I should post it, or don't know if I should put it out there. It's like, dude, you haven't posted this? He posts it. He gets it out there, and literally 1 million views within 24 hours. I called my contacts because I worked in New York forever. I had us on Good Morning America, Inside Edition. I had us on Al Jazeera TV in the Middle East. We had 500 million impressions from him doing dance challenge videos. We did dance challenge videos for a year. He's the most watched non-celebrity on Facebook in 2018. And he's a dentist in Greenville, South Carolina. And
packed business.
What do you think it did to his business?
Yeah.
He had just started his practice. And he went from 0 to quadrupling his business, essentially, and staff and otherwise, from doing dance challenge. It has nothing to do with dentistry, has nothing to do with cavities, but it was all about getting him out there and doing something interesting. And we got viral. I don't sell viral moments, but I do help people get out there and promote themselves.
But look what it did for him.
Personal branding.
And personal branding. Folks, better pay attention. What else do you think? Because I get a lot of entrepreneurial people following, listening. What do you think you could give them as far as, dude, if you're just starting a business, or you got a pretty good one but it hasn't hit the scale mark, or you're trying to, get it going, what marketing techniques or what things could you give them to, like, give them a little love?
Well, it's kind of similar whether it's a business or personal branding. Content development is everything. And developing content, whether that's the written word, whether that's the spoken word, like this podcast, or it's video, content development is key number one in the world that we live in. And no matter if you're small, medium, or large business.
So if I'm out there, just starting my business and I want to build a personal brand, I've got an iPhone, I've got a little bit of time, and I'm willing to do it myself.
Yep.
Like, where I can't hire that dude. But I can do it myself. What would you suggest?
So I would just, if you're in any business, plumbing, real estate, whatever the fuck it is, just take a piece of paper out and draw a line down the middle and list the questions that you get from clients, the problems that your clients have. And on the other side, list how you answer or how you solve those problems. And then each one of those things is a piece of content. Literally that simple. I always get asked this question by people, or I always go fix this thing. That's your piece of content, how you did it, how you answer those problems. And then basically make content around that, whether it's you talking to your camera, whether it's you writing it out in written format and posting it on LinkedIn as a blog. It just takes time, So you just block the time on your calendar and do it like any other activity.
And then how long do you think it'll take before it starts to actually build up and pay off?
So initially, people have this thing of like, you need a lot of followers and you need a lot of subscribers to make money, you don't need that much. You know, on a local level, you don't need much, especially if you're in a high margin business, right? So I think of a video on YouTube that's only got 700 views for me. That made me 6 figures because it got me 8 deals, right? And that video is not viral. I don't have that many subscribers, but if somebody watched it and reached out to you and used, you know, that if that's the reason why somebody came out to you to work with you, it's worth a lot more.
Hey, that's another hack I learned about YouTube. When you're looking at TubeBuddy, you see someone with 3 million subs,
Yeah.
and the video's got 3 million views. Is that good or bad?
I don't know.
3 million views. It's like, yeah, that's good. Not really, not with 3 million subs. Like, for example, you're looking for shit where they have like 3 million subs and 9 million views. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they've got 80,000 subs and 2 million views. So subs versus views. A lot of times people are just going, oh, these have millions, it must be popular. Well, if you have 16 million subs and 2 million views, wasn't very popular, was it?
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of these little hacks to implement, but to
And
get
what's
started
cool, yeah.
and do the basics is what's most important,
Yeah.
because most people won't get started to even get to those.
And the other thing is like, if you're trying to get results from the first few videos, those are just practice to get you good and becoming relatable.
And
so
comfortable.
so don't focus on that. And if you don't even want to post it to begin with, just shoot the videos and keep them in your phone. You know, I think you should post them right away, but some people just want to get comfortable on camera before they post them. I know people, we've shot the videos for them. They won't post them because they didn't like the way they looked in the video. So I think people are really like, dude, like if you're older and you're married, like, why are you so concerned about like the way you look on a video or the way you look in a poster and all these things? Like people are just like, I've noticed they're paralyzed by the way they look on their social media. Like they put this on the highest pedestal. Like, what do I look like? What are people thinking of me? They're going to think it's dumb. You know how many videos I've shot with my phone and then not posted because I thought, oh, that's dumb. People are going to, you know, they'll think that's stupid. You don't post it. Like just
well, what
post
if you
it.
post it and they do think it's stupid? Like
Yeah.
you were correct.
Yeah. But that,
Now
I think,
now you ruined your brand. Now you look like a dick.
yeah, but that's the downside. What's the upside? That maybe somebody reaches out to you because of that video. Maybe you connect with some more people because of that video.
But shouldn't you listen to your intuition? Like, hey man, that's a stupid video.
No, but I think when it's you in the beginning, you think you're so critical of yourself. You're overcritical of yourself.
I know, but like that's one of those, I don't know how to advise people, because
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but like if you think it's stupid, maybe redo it until you think it's good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'd look at it and I think like that's stupid. And I go, oh, nope, I got to post it anyway. Because now you got a bunch of stupid shit online and everyone thinks you're
Have
an
you
idiot.
ever shot a video where you didn't quite like the way you looked in the video?
Looked, yes.
And you posted
I ain't
anyway?
talking about looks. What you said, I think, is
Yeah.
what matters.
Yeah, but I'm saying people put this part, the
Like-
appearance on a pedestal. Like the light, the fucking way they
Yeah,
looked,
no, like-
the sound, all
Like
that
I've
shit.
dropped F-bombs on, and when I looked at it, I'm like, I said fuck every 5 seconds. Like,
Yeah,
I wish
yeah.
I didn't say all those F-bombs, but I still posted it because my brand is, they know I'm going to say whatever I'm thinking. But personally, I wish I didn't say all those F-bombs.
But I would just say this, once you get to a base level where you could ask people, hey, honestly, what do you think of this video? And they give you their honest feedback. And maybe ask a stranger, to get some honest feedback. And it's at a base level. From that point on, you're going to think that things are not as good as other, and that's your subjective opinion. And I've made a bunch of reels. The ones I thought weren't that good somehow got way more views. The ones I thought were dope, this one's fire, this one's going to crush, so I'm going viral. Nobody liked it. So we're wrong a lot of times about our own content. So if you have a bunch of content, just post all of it. What's the worst that happens? If it's of a certain level, it's not like going to take away from your brand, but you just didn't like it as much as the other ones. What's the worst that happens? Someone sees it and they just keep scrolling.
If I were trying to grow my page or my subs
as they're called in the world of YouTube, how would I do it?
Yeah, that's a great question. And, you're right. We were talking earlier about YouTube being, a hard nut to crack. And it sort of is in a category of its own compared to some of the other social platforms. I think just like the rules of success, you need to learn the rules of YouTube. Learn what matters to YouTube. For example, it's not views or subscribers that matter most on YouTube. It's minutes. Minutes matter most on YouTube. And that's why in your back analytics, they want people on platform. They want them consuming content. So when you know those rules, then you would realize things like you don't want to send people away from YouTube as much. If there's marketers, entrepreneurs listening, a lot of us, we usually share some free content and then we take somebody to a landing page. We take somebody to a ethical bribe, a lead magnet. But on YouTube, a lot of times you want to be creating content that keeps people on platform and maybe keep them on a journey of watching 3, 4, 5, 6 videos, connecting all of those videos through YouTube's features like end cards and cards so that people stay on platform. You get rewarded. That triggers the algorithm. Then you reach more people, more views. And then, of course, eventually you have to have people come off platform. So that would be it. Learning those rules, learning those nuances means that you're going to play the game different on YouTube than you do on Facebook, than you do on maybe other platforms.
My last guest we were talking to basically goes around and teaches. He's with the PGA. We've signed up the PGA, Professional Golf Association, and they're out training golf professionals how to, be more customer service based. And we were having a conversation. So I actually called a couple places to try and get golf lessons booked. And I'm telling you that they're terrible. They were terrible. These two anyway, terrible. So what is it? How many YouTube subscribers do you believe are just missing the boat entirely?
Or YouTube creators?
Yeah.
I think actually the majority of entrepreneurs kind of approach YouTube wrong. Really, we have another YouTube channel, and the co-author of the book YouTube Secrets, Benji Travis, it's called Video Influencers, and we interview video influencers. And we've had people on the channel from the likes of, the Lewis Howes or Chalene Johnson or Gary Vee, kind of that entrepreneur tribe, learning their tips. But then if we've had proper YouTubers on the channel as well. And we're so passionate about that because, again, I think for mastering YouTube, you want to think like a YouTuber, even if you're a business owner, right?
Yeah.
And so, again, typically we do things maybe old school, or you do things the same way you would do in direct marketing, 4, 5, 6 years ago. And so you want to learn from the YouTubers and adapt that into the content, that you're creating on YouTube. A friend of mine here in Vegas as well, right? Chris Record. He had a really killer run on YouTube, and he did it really well because he was actually kind of being a YouTuber. He was taking notes from some of the popular creators like the Paul brothers and different things, but then he was bringing that into his education on his YouTube channel when it came to online marketing and making money online. And he used the term that's pretty popular right now, edutainment, and thinking about not just, conveying information, but also thinking about the psychology and the energy of that end user and weaving content that is made for that platform, made for the people that are there. And that's kind of reverse engineered to succeed.
So how would a business leverage it where they're not trying to be YouTubers, but they're definitely trying to drive awareness and traffic? Do any companies do that well?
I think a couple companies to look at. Kingston is a memory company. They create a lot of computer components and whatnot. And they're doing great. They've got over 100,000 subscribers, maybe coming up on 200,000. A couple things they're doing. One, they are working with personalities. They actually work with influencers. So depending on the size of your business, there may or may not be someone in your business that is the talent. Now, anybody could start. You could start creating. Even if you have a small business, you can grab your phone and create content. But the reason I think they're doing it so well is they've committed to consistent content. They've invested in talent. Right? They've invested in the right personality, whether that would be internal or external. And they also are having a mentality that I think is needed for success. As businesses, a lot of times we focus on, okay, well, if I create a YouTube channel, I'll talk about our products. I'll talk about what we do. I'll talk about all of our stuff. I think that's a losing strategy. I think what you want to do is you want to go broader, create kind of a media company where you serve the market in general. So for instance, on Kingston's YouTube channel, they'll talk about GoPro. That's a different brand. They'll talk about other cameras. They'll even touch on potentially competitors, because what they want to do on their channel is add value, share answers, really connect with their audience, and just put out a lot of content that is in that kind of broader niche, serving their promise of helping you get your computer going faster and creating content better. And then throughout the content, every once in a while, they'll have their own products that are launched and whatnot. And so I think that would be the mentality that business owners should have. One other angle you could take there is that 101, you want to be uploading the frequently asked questions for your business on YouTube. If you haven't started a YouTube channel, you get questions all the time. Every business does, right? And most websites might have an FAQ section. Well, every one of those FAQs could be a video. And whether or not those ever go viral, they probably won't. They also are just a way of, if you will, automating and systematizing the fact that you're answering that question all the time. So why not? You could share that other places. You could send it in an email. You could reply in a tweet to say, oh, great question. Here's the answer. And you already have a video captured from it. But also recognizing that YouTube is a search engine. It's the second largest search engine in the world. And so because of that fact, when you position videos in answers to questions, then you can actually get discovered for those pain points, those target audience questions, and potentially build not just your brand, your followers, but also sales and your customer base.
So a business is out there trying to get ahead in life. Based on what you just said, what they ought to do is put their ear and their finger on the pulse of whatever industry they're in, tap into the trends and the latest stories, turn on their iPhone, give their opinion about something, upload it, tag it right, go get your Video Ranking Academy course, tag it right, and that could theoretically spark into one of those conversations and go viral.
Absolutely. And, we were on a coaching call with our Inner Circle community last night, and we were talking to one of the YouTube channels is actually a channel that's a parody Trump channel. And I actually couldn't, when I was reviewing it, I was like kind of giving insights, like that coaching that's hands-on from myself and my team. And I actually couldn't tell which side he was on. I didn't know if he was pro-Trump or not. But the point is, it was a comedy channel. And so he had a couple breakout videos. Why? Because CNN is suing Trump. So he makes a video about it. You get that video out quickly, and it's helping him grow his influence because he's riding trends. He's riding culture, right? He's commentating. And by the way, when I say breakout, I'm saying he's a newer YouTuber, just a few months in, or content creator, and he's getting 300 views, 550 views, 850 views. Now,
is that a lot?
But let's put this in perspective. If you start from scratch in a world with 7+ billion people, and nobody knows you, and there's all this competition, if you're getting 850 views from just using your smartphone and being able to just use some of your free time to grow your influence, that is insane. Is that a lot? That is unreal. Like, tell my grandpa about that fact that it's happening while he was trying to grow his dental practice, that you could use free platforms like YouTube or the other social networks, and the barrier to entry was the quality of your content and the amount of hustle that you put into getting it out there.
But if I have a brick and mortar, some dude watching my stuff in India would be irrelevant.
Could be, and that also could be, though, to the scope of your vision. Because if you have a brick and mortar, why aren't you thinking about maybe creating a digital course that could be available globally? If you've built a successful brick and mortar, why aren't you maybe considering kind of creating a mini media company where you could help people learn how you did what you did? So there's just different. It'd have to be connected to your ambition. Could you use YouTube to get isolated people into your burgers and shake restaurant because of like ranking videos? Probably not. But what you should be doing there is using YouTube ads, Facebook ads, local targeting.
Not only that, based on what you talked about, you could figure out a way to do it.
You certainly could. And you could do local search. But I mean, the fact of somebody going to YouTube and being like, which burger place in Vegas probably wouldn't happen. I think what I would do if I'm that shop is what happened to me the other day. Last snowboard season, I landed in Park City. And in my Instagram feed started showing up all this stuff to do in Park City, paid ads targeting me directly. They knew I was there once I checked in. And I thought, this is the way to get in front of people. So, as we talk about this too, it's got to be holistic. We've talked about one strategy as far as writing trends. I think you do want that more comprehensive vision for how are you going to take your company, your content, and, optimize it and strategically use it to grow what you're doing. And it's a little bit nuanced depending on what your industry is or what your business is.
So companies, when they start out a LinkedIn page, what are like the top 3 mistakes they're making?
They think that content is ads. They're like, oh, we need content. And then they just post ads. And it's like, nobody cares what you sell. So I would say along that, you just need to focus on providing value. What's just valuable? What do you know that your target market doesn't know that would make their lives easier? So instead of posting an ad like, hey, I'm Shay Rowbottom, I teach LinkedIn video, hit me up, here's my offerings, here's my services. Everyone's just going to be like, you're just like everyone else spamming on LinkedIn right now, Shay. This provides nothing to me. So instead of that, what I could do is ask, okay, what do I know that my target market doesn't know that would make their lives easier? And in my case, that would be how to make videos for LinkedIn. So free tips, hey, here's a video on how long your videos should be on LinkedIn. Or here's a video on how to write headlines for your LinkedIn videos. Here's how you should format your videos. Here's how you come up with content ideas. Here's how you break through the shame of being on camera and build more confidence. That's how you get people to actually build trust with your brand and eventually reach out to you for business. So don't post ads. Just ask yourself, what do you know that your target market doesn't know that would make their lives easier? And you will see people start coming to you. So I would say that's number 1. Number 2 is they just do not have an optimized profile. I would say like 95% of LinkedIn profiles, it's very unclear when you land on the profile what it is you actually do and who you help. So remember, we don't want to pitch in the content. We just want to provide value. People in the newsfeed are just looking for value. They're looking to be helped for free, to be entertained. And then once you gain their trust, they're going to click on your page and go see what you do. Now you've got people coming to your page. You want to make sure your page now is an ad. It does need to be optimized for conversions. A lot of like what you see on LinkedIn profiles is like awards in the headline. Like, oh, I was Forbes 30 under 30, or like I have an MBA, or like this. It's like nobody cares. You're wasting your characters when you could be using those characters to effectively communicate to your target market when they do land on your profile that you are in fact the person that solves their problem. And no one's going to go digging for it. No one, it's later, it's there in my summary. It's like, no, make it so crystal clear so that they know right away, oh, this is the person to solve my problem. So that's a little bit about the mistakes with profiles. I would say just make it very clear. I always say I help X accomplish Y using Z. X being your target market, Y being the problem you solve for them, and Z being the mechanism for how you solve it. And even Z is kind of optional, but just I help X accomplish Y. That's it. Who do you help? And that way you'll get more people converting on your profile. Tip number 3, is that what you asked? 3?
3. Top 3.
I mean, I'll just say for number 3, they're just not utilizing LinkedIn. I'll just say that. They're just not utilizing it. They say most people, even business owners who are in B2B that would have a super relevant offer for LinkedIn, they're just not using it. I always hear like, oh, I have a LinkedIn, but I haven't logged in months, or like, I don't know, I haven't updated my profile. I never check the messages. It's just a missed opportunity, especially for all these businesses that are investing in content on other platforms, paying to produce content for Instagram, paying to run ads on Facebook, but you're not doing an organic content strategy on LinkedIn. You're not repurposing any of that. It's like, what platform do you think has the most access to money and resources?
LinkedIn?
It's going to be LinkedIn.
Why?
Because people are just there to make money. It's not a social media platform. It's a networking event. Like 30% of people on LinkedIn, when I message them saying, hey, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, I try to funnel them off. Like 30% will reply and say, Shay, I don't have social media. I don't use anything other than LinkedIn.
Talk about TikTok for a minute. How, if someone were to start today, how would you promote that they get the fastest gains in the quickest amount of time?
TikTok is a fun channel. I think we do about 10 postings a day. My team does it. And I think the key to TikTok is it's got to be under 60 seconds. And then whatever the video is about, it's best if you put the words on the screen. And then you just stay on target and try to be I think creativity on TikTok is highly rewarded. It's a place where if your personality likes to be less structured or more visionary, more goof off, I think it thrives a little bit better there. I'm a fairly serious natured person. So, my team, shares all my serious crap, and somehow there's a following that likes it and watches it. But dude, TikTok is the fastest growing channel right now. So if a person is saying, wow, I want to get some influence in this world, don't start with Facebook, please. That's the bottom of the heap. And YouTube is a little bit of a heavier lift, takes a lot of organization and whatnot. But TikTok, you can whip out your camera and make a video and throw out a test and see if it works right now, and you'll get feedback in the next couple of hours.
So if I were to throw out my phone right now and just say, TikTok, you don't stop, blah, 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 put a headline on it or some text on it and post it, someone's going to see it, yes or no?
Yeah. Even
if no one's following you.
People are going to see it, but I believe in hacking the algorithm. So YouTube, Instagram, all the social out there, there are preferences by the platform that they want you to follow if they're going to suggest you to other people in the feed. And right now TikTok is saying, hey, and this is true of most platforms, if you consistently and regularly post, we will reward you by making sure people can see you.
So 10 times a day, that's part of that.
For me, yeah.
You think that's part of the growth strategy?
Well, I think that's how we got 500,000 followers in the last 6 months.
Is the frequency?
I think the frequency is 100%. Every channel has a frequency that's important. Like YouTube, you can't post a video a month and become anybody. YouTube says, we don't care about you. So you're not consistent. You're irregular. I post 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's never a Tuesday. It's never Thursday. It's never Saturday. It's never a Sunday. I'm telling YouTube. And when you tell YouTube 4 months in a row, this is how we roll, YouTube says, I trust you. By the way, it looks like people are liking you. You throw in a little bit of secret sauce with some keyword research, and all of a sudden, they're going to reward you. And so the question is, how do I get the platform to reward me? TikTok, they want to see a lot of content posted.
Really? Like an all-day thing. It's almost like a story.
Yeah. The good news is I don't have to shoot 10 TikToks a day. We just take all my other gear from like YouTube or whatnot and repurpose it.
Yeah, but you're doing it professionally and intelligently. There's a lot of people that I think could do it, guerrilla warfare. Like, in other words, it's going to take their time. But like, if I pull out my phone right now and do a TikTok, and then afterwards put some heading on there and stick it out there, I'd have to do that 10 times a day.
Well, and remember, YouTube is searchable everywhere for life. That piece, every video is like a living machine that never dies. And sometimes it gains more and more momentum with time. TikTok's here today, and in 2 days, the video is gone. No one's seen that video after 2-3 days.
Really?
So it has a very, very short lifespan.
But I get what you're saying, man, and it's smart, and everybody listening to this is going, dude, and there's bombs going off. If you're running a business, what basically he's saying, if you're running a business, go be an expert at your business, make videos, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 90 minutes about your expertise to prove people your expertise. Design it to where it will show up on the popular videos and the search for videos as a recommendation. And then as soon as they start watching your videos, I'm sure there's techniques to get people into that ecosystem. Like, I know that I wasn't doing it until I think you showed us, but someone's like, at the end, when it pops up another suggested video, like, I didn't even know to do that. Of course, I was just uploading it myself and that's it, titling it and hitting save. So that's what I mean by, like, I'm not YouTubing, meaning I ain't doing all that shit. When you had a meeting here, it was to train somebody that was going to do it, and they never got around to it, but now we are. But that kind of training is little known, and I think it makes a big difference. So the question I'm asking you is, what's the difference between just uploading a video and titling it correctly to knowing that, hey, after this video or right at the last 10 seconds, you should suggest your next video. And if you do this, you're going to show up in other people's lists better. Give me like 3 tips people can follow there.
So titling really matters. And tip number 1 would be look at your competitors, who you would think of competitors, right? Who's your contemporary, who's on YouTube. see what the most popular videos are, use their titles, and make your version of that video that's better. So find a video. If you're going to be doing one on sales advice, find the top 10 sales advice videos. I don't even care if you watch them. Just know you could do better, and take their title and make your version of it. Because your goal is to show up after the video. Your goal is, okay, here's some crappy sales training. Go watch that and then see mine, and I'm going to blow you out of the water. Right? That's the goal. You want to show up after these videos.
Yeah. So if they're typing in, confidence, and, John Maxwell shows up, first. What? And by the way, wouldn't you eventually, with all those subscribers and views, show up first anyway?
Yeah. Yes. It's a lot still based off of viewing patterns. Like a subscriber of mine is more likely to see my videos at the top than if they've never watched any of my videos before. But at the beginning, this is the game that we want to play. The fastest way to hack your YouTube growth is to rank after other people's videos. Once we get people in, like your 106,000 subscribers, your videos are going to show up on their homepage. Your videos are going to show up when they search. They might be typing in Brad Lee sales advice, right? Because they know you. But the game isn't talking to your current subscribers. The game is talking to people who have no idea who you are yet. And when step number one is take those titles from the big videos and then make your version of it.
Got that. Love that. And if people aren't paying attention, all that necessarily means is you Google, let's say, how to fix a toilet, and your freaking competitor plumber sitting right there, and he called his, how to fix a toilet. Well, you call yours that, and then you just do your version of how to fix a toilet. The rest, I think the market decides, right? So if your shit is better, you'll be suggested, and then people see your version, and next thing you know, you get popular. Yeah. Because if your shit sucks, dude, they're not going to subscribe.
Well, for sure. I mean, yes, you have to talk about something that you know. I mean, I help people who know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
If you're still trying to figure it out, don't try to make an expert video, make a process video. Like, I want to get better at sales, so I'm going to do 100 cold calls and watch me do it. And,
that's
and then
valuable.
I'm watching you fail.
That's big right there, folks. Don't go out and try to be an expert when you're not one, because you're going to look like a dipshit. And I think people are getting more and more discovered and transparent with things like that. Don't you?
Especially in a YouTube environment, because you'll get exposed a lot easier than something like Instagram, where it's a 30-second clip that you can fake your way through. If you're doing an hour of cold calls, you're going to get exposed, right?
Yeah, but if you tee it up, like you said, is, hey, I'm going to try to get better at cold calls. And then people are addicted and watching that, and they watch you improve. And now they're like, damn, this guy got good. It's possible. First of all. Second of all, you didn't make any false claim. You didn't say, let me teach you how to cold call. You said, watch me learn how to cold call. That authenticity switch is a big difference.
Yeah. So if you are the expert, share. And my great passion is trying to help get more experts who are real experts on the platform to share, to get the knowledge out. But if you're not the expert yet, then it's the becoming, it's the journey, it's you learning. It's, okay, I watched this video that Brad had on selling. I'm going to go try to do it myself. Like, let's see how you do it. And maybe you crush it, or maybe you suck, but you start to get better in that process. And as you keep doing those, you'll start to become a little bit of an expert, and you switch to, okay, here's what I learned in my first 100 days of cold calling. And you start getting better and better and better. So I think there's a path for everybody, just making sure you're talking about what is actually real for you.